Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are excited to be here today with 60 Fit Club. Today, we're going to come at you with another one of our episodes. We're on episode 4 now. And with this episode, we're going to just be talking about moving well and also living well. So, a lot of mobility talk today, but, just stand by and we're going to enjoy a little moment. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Good to see you again, man. How you doing?
Yeah.
Weather? How's the weather out there in Texas? That's what I want that.
Today it's been nice actually. Temperature got up to 95, so that's a good time there, right? But it
Right.
started out really, nice and not cool, but to where you didn't have to like deal with sweating or anything like that. So it was a good morning. Around about I don't know noon, 1 o'clock it started to get warm, but you know I was in church all day, and then after church I'm inside prepping foods and watching
Watching
TV
football.
with the wife. That's what we're
Watching,
doing,
watch,
man.
watching
Yeah,
football. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So anyway, man, you kind of hit it on the head a little bit. This our episode this week talking about mobility, stretching, moving around. As we age, people don't
Yeah.
realize how important that is, and that's something that I'm working on myself because I'm older, man, and I think we try to put it behind us. I don't know about you, but it's one of those things. I'll do everything else, and then I say, I don't have time, and that's one of the things I
Yeah.
may have been make excuses for. But I put that as a priority, and then I know people have seen a couple of my videos lately. I've been stretching and trying to get more mobility out of my joints. And when we're talking about that, we're talking about, hey, when you talk about mobility, we're talking about hips, we're talking about your whole body. And because as you get older, you need to be more flexible. So what do you
Yeah.
think about that, Rob? What do you think about the flexibility that we need when we start hitting that 40, 50, 60 range?
Yeah, it's that thing of the range of motion in general. I know, like as you stated earlier, once you get older, you start to feel just tighter in general. So even if you are stretching and you're doing stuff, you realize that your flexibility is not as great as it was when you was doing the same type of stretching when we was younger. So I think that what we all have a tendency to do is that when you start to feel tight and stiff, you don't want to stretch anymore because you can't really get down there. And we don't want to get on the floor. We don't want to do all those things anymore that we didn't have a problem with doing anymore. So I think that to have a workout session that's pretty much basic all mobility work, functional training, as you want to call it, that will assist us because we're not in there trying to pound weight every day. So you might as well do something that's going to keep that range of motion, and so you can kind of enjoy life in general.
Exactly. I like that. I like what you said about that because one, when we if we set aside a day, just make it a how we say we're gonna do 4 days or 3 days or 5 days of work lifting. Just make
Right.
that one that I think we add that into one of our days. Um, and it's all about when we talk about flexibility and mobility, we're also talking about what it helps you with your circulation as far as
Absolutely.
your blood flow, your air flow. It's not just people think we're just talking about the stretching and stuff like that. When we're talking about inhale, exhale exercises for your chest, for your breathing, helps your circulation, helps your airflow, stuff like that. And I think I know a guy that at the gym, and he always kids me. He said, "Hey man, you need to come down here and stretch and do these mobility things with me," because he does it. He stretches every day, but then he has that one day when that's
Mhm.
all he does. And I watch him, and I've been, when we talk, and I said, "Hey man, I'm gonna start doing it with you on one day a week," and I
Yeah.
have, and I feel better. I don't feel as
Sure.
stiff, because lifting weights, man, you still gonna get tight, you still gonna get stiff.
Yeah.
Um, we have a program and he has a program and some of the things that I always have been doing already too, because especially with my shoulder being replaced,
Uh-huh.
like you said, range of motion, those are some of the things that we need to get at and have better. So if we're not doing it, we start losing that range of motion, then those body parts get even tighter, get even harder for you to get up. Like you said, we don't want to lay down, we don't want to sit down, stuff like that. But now doing these mobility exercises and stuff like that, I feel a lot more comfortable doing, getting up and stuff like that.
And
What
a
oh,
lot of the
yeah,
things, yeah, a lot of the things, Mike, I believe that a lot of people feel as though they need to like raise their legs up really high to actually get a stretch. You can put your leg on a stool and just bend over as far as you can, as though you was going to tie your shoe, and that'll be just as great of a stretch as someone putting a leg up above their head, or even trying to get on the floor and lie flat and pull. Because even getting onto the floor, reaching down to your toes is obsolete. That's not going to happen anymore. So now you're just kind of bouncing, and that is the last thing you want to do with the lack of flexibility. And that's when we go into talking about steady state, segment, I should say segment stretching, to where you're just sit in one spot and hold for like 6 seconds and don't bounce, and just
right.
stay, let the muscles work for you.
Right. And to follow and piggyback on that, when I do stretch now, I'm not getting on the floor, laying down, and like it's a machine or something around. I can prop my leg up, stretch it
Yeah.
out that way, gradually get down. I'm not doing, we're not 20-year-old, 19-year-old kids no more, so we gotta be realistic about it. The one thing, like I said, we need to do more of is to be more consistent in doing it as we get older, just like everything else we preach. And like I said, I'm transparent. I don't do it as much. I wasn't doing it as much as I should,
Right.
and now that I'm creeping up there even more, I was starting to feel it. And I'm like, man. And then people were saying, man, I don't ever see you stretch. And my son always gets on me and says, hey, Dad, it helps you in everything else you do, being more flexible, being more mobile. Now, what are some of the type of things that you do or you recommend to your clients? Because I know you do have some older clients. What are some of the things that you do for mobility?
Well, for my mobility stuff, I have a small broom handles type stick that I will tell them to just do slight twists, nothing major, just some slight twisting. Also, using that same motion uh, with the stick, meaning to bend forward a little bit, just kind of get that stretch, and it'll just kind of keep their back in position to keep them from rounding their backs. I once again enjoy watching them uh, do, as I said, it's a static stretching, to where all I want them to do is hold a dumbbell and just reach down and just let their body slowly, progressively move down towards the ground. So, progressive stretching is also a good thing, and don't try to overload. And I will do that with them. I also, mobility wise stuff, have them do lunges also with the broomstick, something balancing, so that they can walk forward. I actually have CVC pipes, that I have them use. But yeah, so they do a lot of that. And when we're on lying down on leg curl machine, I just want them to lie down and then just kind of let their bodies relax. You know what I mean? Don't try to pull away. Just feel the weight bearing onto their feet, and then just let their body just kind of relax. And also during that time, have them stretch their arms out and just feel the full body stretch. So little stuff like that. But I don't put them on the floor until I can see that they're, comfortable with that. And the ones who have graduated to the floor in general, then that's when I just kind of start allowing them to, bring their knees up, and then just kind of sway their knees back and forth and left to right, and giving them that lower body action movement too.
Exactly. Yeah. And I also use the walls
Yeah.
for my shoulder joints, creeping up the wall. I might put my arm on the wall and just walk my fingers up as far as I can, hold it for a little while, stretch it. Um,
Yeah.
Also, like when I wake up in the morning, now what I do is I do breathing exercises for my lungs and my circulation, and then I stretch. I do some things, I wake up, take deep breath, blow it out, and then I stretch my arms. I try to open up my hips,
Right.
and then I stretch my legs a little bit while I'm in the bed, and then I sit on the edge of the bed, do a little bit of something. I open up the hips, work my neck,
Right.
stuff like that. So when I
Yeah.
get up, I'm not getting up like that old man. You know what I'm saying? When you
Yeah.
get out of bed,
Yeah.
you creaking. I feel better doing that. I feel the oxygen flow is a lot better for me. I feel my
Uh-huh.
circulation is better for me, and I feel my range of motion in the morning. Before it wasn't it wasn't like it is now when I get
Sure.
up when I'm doing the
Right.
stretching. So those are some of the things that I recommend too, also in the morning. And it's the benefits of doing this. It reduces injuries if we work on our mobility and we do stretching. Um, it helps us down the line. We talk about getting in it, getting out, getting up out of chairs and stuff like that.
Sure.
It helps with that. It helps with your joints. People don't
It's just
realize.
all about independence,
Mhm.
that independence. If you got flexibility, that's one of the topics that we have here. But if you have good flexibility, it helps with your independence. And as you just stated, getting up out of the chair, getting up out of your bed is something that you're gonna have to do every day, no matter what. So you might as well learn how to bring your body to life before you even swing your legs out of bed.
And it's so when we talk about it, I'm just trying to give some examples because some people say, well, I'm not at the gym. Well, like Rob said, you have a chair, you can sit in the chair. It's things that you can do there. You can modify stretches, and we'll talk about this maybe a little bit after we're done. If you hit me and Rob up on our Instagram or even on this page right here, we'll send you some stuff on what to do and how to do it and everything. You can sit
Absolutely.
down in a chair, touch your toes. Um, if you have a step or like a shoebox, you can put your
Mhm.
foot on that shoebox. It's just different little things that we don't think of because we think we have to do everything at the gym or everything in a certain spot. But no, you can't. You can do that. Now, if you're still working, you need to be doing stuff like that while you're at work.
That's right.
Rotating your neck side to side.
Yeah.
Stretching your shoulders, stretching your arms, getting up, twisting your hips, twisting your body, like Rob said earlier. All that stuff
Yeah.
helps us prevent injuries, helps us recover from injuries, and helps us be a lot more, like Rob said, totally independent. Because the thing that I know I don't want is somebody pushing me around in a wheelchair when I could have prevented it. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
because sometimes we don't realize, if we do preventative maintenance on our body, and that's what this is, it's maintenance on your body, then you live a little bit better, healthier life as we get older. Because as we age, things change. Things change.
And with the stretching of your neck, people, just remember that it's never necessary to stretch more than you have to this way. Pulling your head like that is not something that's good for you. That's when injuries occur because now you're overstretching in your own range of motion. And just allow your body weight, your head weight, I should say, to give you that full stretch. It's more than enough to get going. I know you see a lot of people in the back in the day, or the younger kids will pull this way, push their neck that way. That's only overdoing it. And so just allow your body to work with what you have and not try to add a bunch of extra tension to a body part that's not ready. That's why I mentioned how important progressive stretching is. That's when you go a little bit at a time, take a deep breath, relax,
Mhm.
go a little bit farther, take a deep
Around.
breath, relax,
Mhm.
go a little bit farther. And then you will allow the muscles to get oxygen in them and blood flow, recalculate the blood flow level, and allow you to stretch a little bit more each time. You'll be surprised how fast you will move up the ladder portion stretching.
And just remember, like Rob said, flexibility is the foundation for your independence. And I know we're stubborn as we get older and we want to be more independent. But if
Right.
you're not doing these things, we went through a series. We've been going through a series so far. We talked about fitness as far as working out.
Yeah.
We talked about diet, how we should eat, and everything. That all this ties in. Now we're talking about flexibility. We're talking about being mobile. We're talking about what you
Right.
need to do to stay mobile to keep the joints oiled. You know,
Yeah.
stretching and doing those things. That's keeping those joints moving and oiled. Where, hey, if you keep them stiff, then all of a sudden they start drying out. It's just like anything else. It's just like that tin man that was looking for the oil can. If you if
Yeah.
if, if you're sitting around not oiling those joints, all of a sudden now we're having all these other problems and everything that we don't want. So that's why we're
Right.
going into the series, and everything ties into everything. So as you can
Right.
see now, we're talking about, we went into this on this session right here.
Yeah. And our goal, people, is to give you kind of a blueprint on the best way to keep yourself in shape without having to go out and spend a bunch of money, and and have things happen to you that you're unsure what's happening. So with this blueprint, all you have to do is go back into our podcast, and it will show each step by step of the episodes that you may have already missed. Our next episode is going to be mastering recovery, and mastering recovery is probably just as important as this flexibility part of it,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
if you're not recovering properly, it's just not the topic. So you guys know what's happening is ways to recover. It's at age 60 and older, sleeping strategies, and also tools and massage saunas and stretching and cold therapy ideas that we've experienced. So
Yeah.
we were looking forward to getting more questions, uh, more subscribers, so that we can actually reach out to you and send you guys stuff, because we can, through your email, through your subscription side of it, we can send you stuff that you need, and you won't have to like go back down and go into the bio side of this and try to pull everything out. We'll just send you the links. That's another thing we might consider doing, even at this point, is throwing in links so you can go and find these exercises,
Exercises, exactly.
stuff like that, and give you more
Yeah.
of an insight on what we're talking about. But other than that, man, Mike, you got anything else that you'd like to share with everyone?
No, that's about it
Yeah,
on this on this topic. But like I
yeah,
said, we need to keep, like I said, we are, everything ties in. So like you said, I would go back, if you haven't seen the other episodes, check them out, because they're real informative. And like I said, everything is tying in, it's
right,
correlating now, so it's a lot better. Um, and like, reach out to us, just like Rob said, reach out to us, subscribe, reach out to us. And like I said, we can send you some mobility drills, something that, let's take 5 or 10 minutes out of your day. It won't even take that long. And then we can send you something that takes a little bit longer. But you know what? We just want you to subscribe to our page, uh, share it with somebody, always share it with somebody, and then come back next week. That's what we ask. That's what we ask.
right.
About you, Rob.
That's it. You guys, we've been here for a while now, so you know where to find us. And on our YouTube channel, 60 Fit Club. Mike and I both get the information that you sent to us. Also, I'm the legend, Robert Johnson, when it comes to my Instagram. And my website is robertjohnsontraining.com. So that's where I'm at. Easy to find, but we're definitely here every Sunday. And if something changed, we always give you guys heads up on the Sunday before, if we're not going to be here. For example, next Sunday, I will be coming back from San Antonio from competing in the San Antonio Pro, and looking forward to hopefully winning again. I won it last year, but there's always other people out there that come along that same age that looks really good, and you just go for the competition side of it, and that's
Yeah,
how I'm looking at it.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
Rob,
yeah. So
hey, but Rob is looking good. He
I
works
feel
really hard.
good.
He works really hard. He's a humble man. I'm telling you, go to his page. I'm telling you, if you go to his page, you can see how he transforms his body. He doesn't have to do a lot of transforming because he stays pretty much close, but you can see the definition and you can see the difference. Like I said, I don't bodybuild anymore, but he does, and so you can see the difference. And we have a lot of similarities, but we
Yeah,
still, he's still competing, and I'm not. So it's always good to see somebody as they compete, because sometimes you guys don't understand. People don't understand what it takes. You know, even when you're working, Rob has clientele. He's working all day and he's still getting it done. So, like, I just want to touch one more thing. You said something this week. You put out a video, and I touched back on it about people making excuses for everything. And
right,
we got to stop doing that. Um, it's about your health. When we can do everything for everybody else, and then also we make excuses for us not being able to do it, Rob, I mean, when you hit it on the head, I had to go out because there's people close to me that if I stepped on their toes, that means I was right. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, I was right. And I appreciate you putting that out there too. So like I ask people, if you just give yourself at least 30 minutes a day right now, just starting, if it's just walking or if it's just weights, you're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to be able to help people down the road. And like I said, right now, it may seem like you're fine, but you got to look at you're building for the future. And some of your people with grandkids, you want to be able to live and enjoy your grandkids, your children as long as possible. And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's true. So people, that's good stuff right there. So don't take it for granted. Just go out and start one day at a time. Don't try to do it all right now, one day at a time, and always give yourself praise for getting up and doing one thing. Exactly. Then the next day, get up and do two things. And then next thing you know, you got your own program and you're feeling good about it and you're sharing it with others at that point.
Exactly.
You can bring people to looking at their health a little bit more. But other than that, people, Mike, you want to tell them, to subscribe on us and go from there.
Hey, make sure you subscribe to our page, 60 Fit Club on YouTube. And you can reach me on Instagram at Big Darkness 59, also at House of Darkness Fitness. And that's it, man. That's it.
All right, peeps. We'll see you guys in 2 Sundays. And remember, we'll be out due to the fact that I will be on stage doing my thing. That's it. Right there.
There it is. Look at that.
There it is. Yeah, buddy. All right. Peace, people. See you soon.